Hello everybody, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another album review, where today I'm talking about the ninth album from Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Did you know that when this album was first released it got really mixed reviews from critics? So as we know, the transitional period for Pink Floyd was very strange. 5 albums in 4 years, and then suddenly The Dark Side of the Moon came in and everyone was instantly hyped for what they're going to do next. They were hoping for something like The Dark Side of the Moon once again, but instead we got something new with Wish You Were Here. Longer instrumentals, more personal lyrics, and an overall vibe that most people at first weren't really feeling compared to Dark Side. And upon release, the album actually got really mixed reviews from critics, with very few positive ones. They were really disappointed by this record. But over the past 46 years, it has also been critically acclaimed and called one of the greatest albums of all time. Now, as for me personally, when I first heard this album, I thought it was pretty good, but honestly nothing incredible, aside from the first 5 parts of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. But now that I have revisited it a couple of times, I definitely see where the acclaim is coming from. It's an absolutely gorgeous project with some amazing themes throughout. Now apparently Wish You Were Here is supposed to be a concept album, but if I were to say what it's actually about, then maybe it's overall about alienation? Like, there's 2 big themes around this record. One is the missing of old friendships, and 2 is criticism of the music industry. So the concept isn't exactly one thing, but the music on this record is absolutely amazing, I would say. The lyrics really do hit hard, and as I said, the instrumentation is... holy Christ, it is absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look. Now, of course, we do have to start with Shine On You Crazy Diamond. The first 5 parts. Now, as you know, after Syd Barrett left Pink Floyd, the band members were still getting a lot of inspiration from him, and so they wrote this absolutely huge 9-part mega opus about him. But the thing is that the first 5 parts of Shine On You Crazy Diamond opened the record, and the last 4 parts end it. So part 1 opens the entire album, and wow, this is like gorgeous. This is amazing. The synthesizer playing, the guitar playing is absolutely wonderful on this part. It's really angelic, and it's a huge gut punch. I really do love this wonderful opening. And then that is followed by an even harder gut punch, which is, of course, ding 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 ding, the 4-note guitar riff, commonly known as Syd's theme. Part 2 basically repeats that riff over and over and over under some pretty amazing instrumentation. Like, this is where the drums come in and everything, and it's also pretty wonderful. Part 3 is another pretty cool instrumental section that I quite like. There's not much to say about it, really, aside from the guitar solos being pretty epic once again. And then there's part 4, which has actual lyrics. The lyrics are, of course, attributed to Syd, and they talk about how amazing he was when he was still in Pink Floyd. And yeah, these lyrics are absolutely amazing with the vocals combined, and yeah, wow, this is pretty beautiful. And then there's part 5, where saxophonist Dick Perry at first plays a baritone sax solo, and then he suddenly switches over to a tenor sax solo, and the tempo also changes. And yeah, this 5th part is honestly pretty cool. True story, when the band were mixing Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Barrett himself actually came into the studio, now bald, and he put on a lot of weight. And it took 45 minutes for his former bandmates to recognize him, and when they did, a couple of them were moved to tears. And these first 5 parts of Shine On You Crazy Diamond are just absolutely incredible. I really do love them a lot. Now after this is where the record gets a bit weird, because, well, we started off with the first 5 parts of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, but then we hear a humming sound, which transitions into the next track, Welcome to the Machine. And that humming sound gets louder, and then suddenly we hear a bunch of synthesizers and acoustic guitars, and David Gilmour starts shouting his vocals. Now you may be thinking, wait, what is this machine they're talking about? Well, it's the music industry. This whole track is basically a diss on how cruel the people in the industry actually are. All the while, there's just insane acoustic guitars strumming away, and it sounds really apocalyptic. Gilmour, as I said, shouts his vocals, and there are a lot of electronic sounds done by Wright on his synthesizers, and there's almost no drums on this track. And it ends with the sound of a party, which shows how unrealistic a lot of the friendships in the music industry actually are, even to this day. I mean, if I had to pick a least favorite, it would probably be this one. I mean, I don't care for Gilmour's shouting vocals. But still, this is a really, really good track, and I do enjoy it a lot. And then we start off side 2 of the album with another diss at the music industry, this time aimed at greedy record executives, Have a Cigar. This track actually features folk singer Roy Harper on lead vocals, instead of any of the band members. And he basically lists off a bunch of cliche sentences that rising newcomers hear from record executives when they meet them for the first time. Sarcastically parodying these record executives is actually pretty funny. And the instrumentation is really, really amazing. I do love the synthesizer playing in this track, and the guitar solo in the outro is also really great. So yeah, I really do love this song. And at the end, we hear a sudden whooshing sound, and then we hear the song in what appears to be some kind of AM radio quality, and then that transitions into the intro of the title track, which has a man and woman talking to each other, and then the finale of a Tchaikovsky piece, and then we hear the acoustic guitars on this AM radio quality, and then we hear them in the stereo quality once again. And then the actual song starts. This track is apparently one of the most popular Pink Floyd songs of all time, and I mean, I can kind of understand it, but I'm still kind of confused as to why this is the most streamed track on Spotify of the band. I mean, I do really, really like this track. This song is where the alienation theme most comes into play. This was, once again, inspired by Barrett. And Waters, on this track, talks about how he wishes an old friend of his was there with him, maybe alluding to Barrett. And yeah, this song sounds really beautiful. I love the acoustic guitars on this one. It's really mellow, I really like it, though they do some very strange scat singing there at the end, which is kind of off-putting, but still, really beautiful track. And then we hear a bunch of wind noises, and then that transitions into the 6th part of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Now, parts 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Shine On You Crazy Diamond might not be as great as parts 1 through 5, but they are still really great. Part 6 is once again a really awesome instrumental piece. Once again, the synthesizer playing is phenomenal on here. And, you know, most of the people talk about the synthesizers and the guitars, the rhythm guitars, when they talk about the instrumental sections of this track. But I do gotta give it up to Roger Waters and Nick Mason for really keeping up the beat of these instrumental sections of the track. So yeah, part 6 is really nice, and then we have part 7, which also has lyrics, which once again talk about Sid, and then we have part 8, which is another really awesome instrumental section. The synthesizer playing, again, amazing, guitar solos, great. And then we have part 9, which is the final track to this entire piece, and this is basically the musical eulogy for Sid. Wright plays some really emotional synthesizers once again, with a pretty slow beat, and then in the last minute he just plays his synthesizers alone, and at the very end he plays a reprise of the melody of See Emily Play. Wow, amazing. Really wonderful finish to this album. And yes, all 9 parts of Shine On You Crazy Diamond are incredible. It's all amazing. I absolutely love all of it. So yeah, that's Wish You Were Here, and it's an incredible album from front to back. I mean, this album isn't as incredible as Dark Side of the Moon. Like, for example, this isn't infinitely replayable as Dark Side because, you know, some of the instrumental sections of Shine On You Crazy Diamond might drag for some people. But even if they might drag on for me, if I'm not exactly in that particular mood to listen to this album, I still absolutely love it, and once again consider it to be one of my favorite albums of all time. Like, really, I really should have been in this mood when I first heard this album, because as I said, when I first heard it, I thought it was just good and nothing incredible. But yeah, I really do love this album. I love its themes, I love its instrumentation, and yeah, this is all just amazing. I really love it. I'm overall feeling a 9.5 out of 10. But of course, this is just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree with it, and if you have any opinions, you can leave them in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in a couple of days. I'm Kev from Pest, and you've just learned a bit more about music today.